de la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo viene.
In the beginning, it was just a few strands of barbed wire. It was built to protect various cacti from cattle, crossing the invisible line that separated Mexico and the United States. Since then, it has grown into a militarized concrete and steel barrier that stretches 2,000 miles, from Texas to the Pacific Ocean, over 20 feet high in some areas. The wall, what it is, what it does, and what it represents affects so many lives. These are letters from the wall, Cartas desde el Muro.
Dear Enrique, I am writing you a letter from the wall. I'm here in San Isidro, right at the United States border. I can't believe the current status of our immigration policy. Something needs to be done about this problem. The way these human beings are being treated is unbelievable.
God, please hear me. I pray for my family that's still on the other side. I pray we will be together again one day. I pray for the United States. I pray that people overcome hate and the fear of others.
I'm writing you a letter from the wall. How was your birthday? I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I've been over here working. I'm trying to figure out a way so we can see each other again.
Dear sirs, I am the wife of a deported veteran. My husband served this country for 7 years in the United States Armed Forces. He now lives in exile because the United States government decided to deport him after his service. My son is living without his father. I am without my husband. I've decided to join him in exile. My son and I are leaving this country to be with him. You broke up our family.
To anyone who reads this letter from the wall, I just want to wish you good luck and may God bless you. No olvidados. I made the trip across, but I couldn't keep up with my crew. I don't have the strength to go on, but I must, for my family back home that has faith in me.
Dear God, please help me. I'm lost. I'm hungry and thirsty. I think I'm dying. I had no idea this journey across the border would be this way. There would be a town or a farm just on the other side of the wall, they said. A group of us paid our life savings, plus borrowed money to a coyote to lead us to a safe place to cross. Safe. His idea of safe was a place way out here in the desert, where the border patrol supposedly doesn't patrol as much. There were areas without the wall, but that's because the terrain was rough to build it there. It's as if they built the wall in a way where we would be forced to cross the most dangerous areas. When I jumped over, I injured my leg. I tried my best to keep up with the group, but I just couldn't. I don't blame them for leaving me. Dear God, why does it have to be this way? All I ever wanted was a better life for my family and me. We don't get to choose which side of handmade land we're born on. Where I come from is poor. There is no work. I cannot make enough money to feed and clothe myself, let alone my family. I knew this trip was going to be dangerous, God, but I had no choice. I tried to do it their way, Lord, but it just doesn't work. I applied for a green card, but the wait is so long. Over 10 years. I know of others who have waited 20 years just to hear about their application. Get in line, they say. God, there is no line.
Applicants, to apply for United States naturalization or citizenship, you must not only obtain and fill out the required forms, but you must first have a green card, otherwise known as a permanent residency card. You may also apply for a visa. A visa is a temporary pass that allows its holder to enter the United States and remain for a specific period of time. Now, there are several types of visas. There are the worker's visa, known as an H-1B, where a U.S. company applies for said applicant to come work for them in the United States because of the rare and or special skills they may have. The refugee visa, what we call a 92 or 93, is for those seeking asylum in the country out of fear from prosecution in their country of origin. The family or K visa is for all those who intend to become a citizen by marriage. How romantic. Oh yeah, and same-sex marriages need not apply. The F1 or student visa is for schools or universities who apply for students to come study in the United States of America. There's also the diversity lottery, which was created in 1986 to randomly give out 50,000 visas to countries all over the world. Great way to get cheaper labor. I mean, immigrants to come help support the economy in this great country of ours. Oh, did I say was? That's right. The House of Representatives changed the way this program works in 2012. Diversity visas are now only given to immigrants already in the United States who have graduated from science and tech universities. So I guess that means you have to get that student visa I mentioned before first.
Dear God, we can't wait 10 years. We need help now. I don't have a job, company, family waiting for me on the other side. I don't have any of those things. I'm not rich or have a degree in a university. My kids need food now. My family needs help now. We won't make it if we have to wait 10 years.
I wish everyone could understand what it's like, God. Can't you make them understand? What if they were starving? What if they lived somewhere that wasn't a fit home to live in? That wasn't safe? What if their families didn't have food or shelter? And what if they didn't have programs to help bail them out, like the way they have over there on the US side? Couldn't you show them, Lord, what it would be like if they were desperate for work and needed money to survive, or so their kids could survive? What if they had a chance to send help back home, but were told they would have to wait about 10 years to get a green card, if they didn't have a sponsor family? What if all they had to do was walk for maybe half a day or day at the longest? That's what they told us. What if they said you'd be risking everything for this chance, and that it's so dangerous they might not survive? If there wasn't any other way to make sure their family or kids could eat, have clothes, be able to see a doctor or go to school? Wouldn't they do it, God? Would you? Would you?
Now, a green card is proof that its holder is a lawful permanent resident, or LPR, and has been officially granted immigration benefits, which include permission to reside and take employment in the United States for as long as they want. You will have to renew that green card every 10 years. Now, if you are even thinking about applying for citizenship, you are going to need to have a valid green card for a minimum of 5, count them, 5 years. Now, like a visa, you have your different ways of obtaining a green card. You have your family way, which is if your parents, spouse, brother, sister, or child, who are over the age of 21, have residency, or if you have those mad skills that only the applicant and not too many U.S. citizens have. However, if you have ever been deported in the past, forget it.
Senor, I can't go on anymore. It must be over 100 degrees out, and it's barely just morning. I can't make it across this desert. I haven't eaten or had water in days. My leg is injured. I'm dying, Lord. Please, God, let somebody find me. I know if I'm picked up and deported by authorities, my chances for getting a green card or citizenship are over. But I don't care anymore. I just don't want to die out here. I need to survive for my family. If I can't help them from the other side, then I can help them back home, and then try again when I'm ready. I brought the cell phone when I got to the other side. I've tried calling for the emergency number, but I can't get a signal out here in the desert. Please, God, help me. I found a signal. I'll call the emergency number. Help! Somebody help me! Please, God! Help me! God!
911, what is your location? Hello? 911, what is your emergency? Is anybody there? Can I help you? It's dead.
Dear Enrique, I'm writing you a letter from the wall. I'm here in San Isidro, right at the United States border. I can't believe the current status of our immigration policy. Something needs to be done about this problem. The way these human beings are being treated is unbelievable.
Dios, por favor, escúchame. Rezo por familia que está de otro lado. Rezo que algún día nos podamos volver a ver. Rezo por los Estados Unidos. Rezo que la gente supere el odio y el miedo a los demás.
Hola, mija. I miss you. I'm writing you a letter from the wall. How was your birthday? I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I've been over here working. I'm trying to figure out a way so we can see each other again.
Esta carta del muro es un intento para encontrar a mi tío. Mi familia en México dice que él decidió cruzar y no han oído nada de él en meses. Dicen que debió de haber llegado a su destino desde hace 3 semanas. No sabemos dónde está. ¿Hay alguna manera de que nos ayuden a buscarlo?
Queridos señores, yo soy la esposa de un veterano deportado. Mi esposo sirvió a esta nación por 7 años en las Fuerzas Armadas de los Estados Unidos. Él ahora vive en exilio, porque el gobierno de los Estados Unidos decidió deportarlo después de su servicio. Mi hijo está viviendo sin su padre. Yo estoy sin mi esposo. He decidido acompañarlo en exilio. Mi hijo y yo nos iremos de esta nación para estar con él. Tú rompiste nuestra familia.
To anyone who reads this letter from the wall, I just want to wish you good luck and may God bless you. No olvidados. I made the trip across, but I couldn't keep up with my group. I don't have the strength to go on, but I must, for my family back home that has faith in me.
Dear Enrique, I'm writing you on behalf of my entire family to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You see, if it weren't for the work that you and the Border Angels volunteers do, I would have never been able to see my brother again. When we saw each other again that day, for the first time in many, many years, it was as if we were children again, growing up in Colonia Florida. We were very close as twin siblings can be, I guess. Even though our family was poor and didn't have money to buy us things like new clothes or toys.
¡No estoy peleando!
We made do with what we had. There was a time that we needed shoes, but our papa couldn't afford to buy both of us shoes, so he bought us one pair that we had to share. Of course, they were boys' shoes.
This is all I can afford. You'll have to share.
But why do I have to wear boy shoes? Why can't I get the pretty girl shoes with the bow and buckle?
One day, mija, we need good, strong shoes because they have to last, and you have to share. And boys are too rough for girl shoes.
One day, Papa made an announcement to the family.
I'm going to take us to a place where there's work for Mama and me. It's a place where we won't have to worry about going hungry or not having any clothes, toys, or anything else. And you'll both get your own pair of shoes.
When will we come back so we can visit my friends, Mama? Lo siento, mijo, but we will not be able to come back. We'll make new friends where we are going.
Mama told us.
It will be a better life for all of us. We will have to live at night and be very, very quiet. If I can't come back to see my friends, I will go.
Mijo, don't you want what's best for Mama, your sister, and for yourself?
I'm happy now, Papa. I don't need all those things. You taught me to work hard and to be happy with what I have. I don't even need to take turns sharing the shoes with my sister.
She can wear them all the time. She needs them more. But I will go, if it is best for the family.
That's thinking with your heart.
Good boy, I'm proud of you, Nico.
We packed only what we could carry. Then Papa led us to a dark, quiet place in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the night. It was pouring rain that night. My brother was pointing and laughing at how muddy my shoes were. I could barely walk in them. Look at those muddy shoes, you're so dirty. Shh! Look at your feet. You got all this garb tied around your feet. What's that supposed to be? You shush! The lad told me that pieces of cracker around my feet. No one would be able to follow my footsteps. I'm like a ninja, so there. A man met us on that rainy night, in the middle of nowhere. He said,
Now, I'm going to take you where you can cross. Everyone, do exactly as I say and keep up with me. Most of all, keep quiet.
The man led us to an area of the border where there was no wall. There was a steep hill to climb with many big rocks. There was then a steep, jagged valley you have to run down and climb up on the American side. Suddenly, I saw a long car drive up with its lights off on the other side of the border. All of the doors of the tailgate opened. The car flashed its headlights. Then, suddenly, the man leading us yelled,
Now, that's it! Correle, andale! Don't stop running against that car! Correle!
Mother grabbed me. We ran as fast as we could, but brother could hardly run with the pieces of old carpet he had tied on his feet for shoes.
Wait for me! It's too muddy, I can't run! These shoes, my feet, I'm barefoot, wait!
Papa picked up brother to carry him, but it was too hard for him to run in the mud with the extra weight of carrying my brother in the pouring rain. Mother and I reached the lawn car, but Papa and mother were still trying to come across the hill. Then, I saw a truck driving towards us. It was green and wild with lights on top.
Mama, who are those people coming?
The man leading us suddenly started yelling,
Someone's coming! Go! Get out of here!
Mom and me got into the lawn car, closed the doors. The driver of the lawn car sped us off into the night, leaving Papa and Hermano back on the other side in the dark, pouring rain. They never made it across. That was about 30 years ago, Enrique. I haven't seen Papa and my brother since. It turns out that Papa injured his leg and back trying to come across that night from carrying my brother. Because of his injuries, he was unable to ever try and make the trip again. My brother had to stay and work as many jobs as he could so he and Papa could get by. Mama got many jobs, working in houses and hotels, cleaning and cooking. I worked in the fields, picking fruit and vegetables before going to school while I grew up in the United States. We sent as much money back home as we could to help, but it was never enough to take care of Papa's physical problems. When I was in college, I met the man of my dreams. We would eventually marry and have 2 beautiful twins of our own. My brother worked so hard his entire life trying to take care of Papa right up until the day Papa died. Brother soon developed health problems of his own from living a long, hard life. The doctors say his kidneys were failing and he didn't have much longer to live. Enrique, we were all so excited when you answered my letter, telling me that I would not only be able to see my brother again, but be able to hug him and be with him for a few moments when you and the Border Patrol opened the door at the wall in Friendship Park on Children's Day. I was so excited, yet sad to see my brother again, even if it were to be for the very last time. I couldn't wait for him to meet my little twins. Although, I was a bit upset, because the day before it had rained very hard. The road to get to Friendship Park was very muddy, and it was impossible to push my kid's stroller through it. I thought of my papa and hermano as I tried to carry them along the muddy trail as best I could. We all got pretty dirty. When the door in the wall opened, my brother was very weak and had to be carried. As we held each other for the very last time, I got to introduce him to my young twins.
It's just like looking into a mirror.
Brother said in a weak voice. With a smile and slightly embarrassed, I told him, yes, it is. But look at those muddy shoes. They are so dirty and ugly.
They're beautiful. They're the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Brother passed away shortly after that day. Thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Border Angels, and to the Border Patrol and U.S. Customs, and all of those that made seeing my brother again possible. When that door opened, we only got to spend a few moments together, but in those few moments, we spent a lifetime of memories and love.
Dear Enrique, I am writing you a letter from the wall. I'm here in San Isidro, right at the United States border. Something needs to be done about this problem. The way these human beings are being treated is unbelievable.
God, please hear me. I pray for my family that's still on the other side. I pray that we will be together again one day. I pray for the United States. I pray that people overcome hate and fear of others.
Hola, mija. I miss you. I'm writing you a letter from the wall. How was your birthday? I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. I've been over here working. I'm trying to figure out a way so we can see each other again.
Dear officers, this letter from the wall is an attempt to find my uncle. My family in Mexico says he decided to make the cross, and they haven't heard from him in months. They said he should have been at his destination by now, but he is over 3 weeks late now. We don't know where he is. Is there any way you can help us look for him?
Dear sirs, I am the wife of a deported veteran. My husband served this country for 7 years in the United States Armed Forces. He now lives in exile because the United States government decided to deport him after his service. My son is living without his father. I am without my husband. I've decided to join him in exile. My son and I are leaving this country to be with him. You broke up our family.
To anyone who reads this letter from the wall, I just want to wish you good luck and may God bless you. No olvidados. I made the trip across, but I couldn't keep up with my group. I don't have the strength to go on, but I must, for my family back home that has faith in me.
Estimado Enrique Morones,
Dear Enrique Morones,
recibí su carta con un profundo pesar. Todavía no puedo aceptar la realidad sobre la muerte de mi amado hijo, Marcelino Martín. ¿Qué le puedo decir de mi hijo? Era un joven noble, trabajador y honesto, que quería salir adelante y llegar a conocer un país con el que tantos jóvenes sueñan, a pesar de mi premonición como madre. Incluso antes de irse, yo sabía que algo grave le sucedería. Le rogué con lágrimas en los ojos que no se fuera.
it is with much grief that I received your kind letter. I still cannot accept the reality of the death of my beloved son, Marcelino Martin. What can I say about my son? That he was a noble, hard-working, honest young man who wanted to get ahead and to get to know a country so many young people dream about, in spite of my premonition as well. Even before he left, I knew something serious would happen to him. I asked him, begging with tears in my eyes not to go.
Incluso antes de irse, yo sabía que algo grave le sucedería. Probablemente aquí en México no le hubiera faltado nada. Él estaba trabajando y con la ayuda de Dios habría seguido adelante. Pero él no escuchó. Más tarde la angustia creció cuando nadie me podía decir acerca de su paradero. Mis parientes que viven en los Estados Unidos lo estaban esperando, pero él no llegaba. Ni siquiera había llamado. Más Más tarde me enteré que mi premonición se había hecho realidad. Su muerte me ha aludido, me dejó con tanta angustia y dolor en mi corazón, en mi alma, y nada ha sido capaz de levantarla. Mi hijo apenas estaba empezando a salir con una muchacha y aún no se había casado. Como se suele decir, con 19 años apenas estaba empezando a vivir.
Here in Mexico, he probably would not lack for anything. He was working, and with God's help, he was getting ahead. He did not listen to me. Later, my anguish grew when no one could tell me his whereabouts. My relatives living in the United States were waiting for him. But he had not arrived, had not even called. Later, I learned my premonition had come true. His death has evaded me and left me with so much anguish and pain in my heart and my soul. Nothing has been able to lift it. He was only beginning to date a girl and had not yet married. At 19, as he said, he had barely begun to live.
Tanto se escucha y se ve en la televisión sobre los peligros de cruzar la frontera con el país vecino. Sin embargo, esto no disuade a la gente. Todos corren el peligro de quedar en el desierto o en el río. Sin embargo, en este caso, fue irreversible y a la vez trágico. Desde que se fue de la casa, la angustia casi no me dejaba dormir por la noche. Y como no dejaba de llorar, mis vecinos, que sabían de mi dolor, me animaban diciéndome que las malas noticias viajan más rápido que las buenas noticias. Hasta que llegó el momento en que recibí su cuerpo, le di cristiana sepultura, en donde él estuvo rodeado por un gran número de personas que nos acompañaron en el último adiós.
So much is heard and seen on television about the dangers of trying to cross the border to the neighboring country. But this is not theater people. They risk it in the deserts or the river. Whoever it was, it is irreversible and tragic. Since he left home, my anguish barely lets me sleep at night. I haven't stopped crying. The neighbors who knew of my sorrow would encourage me by saying bad news travels faster than good news. So it was, until I received his body and gave him a Christian burial surrounded by the large number of people who accompanied us on that last goodbye.
Que Dios nos dé fuerzas para renunciar a él. Yo seguiré sufriendo por mucho tiempo. Que el Señor y la Santa Virgen nos ayuden a aliviar el dolor de tantas familias que han perdido sus seres queridos. No hay duda que un ser humano debe sufrir para comprender nuestra terrible experiencia.
May God give us the strength to give him up, because my resistance continues to make me suffer. May the Lord and Holy Virgin repay you for your worthy efforts to ease the pain of so many families who have lost their loved ones. There is no doubt that a human being must suffer in order to understand our terrible ordeal. Thank you so much
por
for your
su
kind
amable
wishes, Lynn. Juana. Dear Enrique, I'm writing you a letter from the wall. I'm here in San Isidro, right at the United States border.
God,
I can't believe the current
please
status of
hear
our
me.
immigration
I
policy.
pray for my family is still on the
Something
other side.
needs to be done about
I
this
will be
problem.
together again one
The
day.
way these human
I pray
beings
for
are
your
being treated is unbelievable.
overcome hate and fear of others.
How was your birthday? I'm
Dear
so sorry I
officers,
couldn't make
this
it.
letter from
I've
the
been all
police
here
attempt to find
working.
my uncle.
I'm trying
Dear
to
sir, I am the wife of a sport veteran. My husband served his country for 7 years in the United States Armed Forces. He now lives in exile because the United States government decided to deport him after his service. My son is living without his father, and he is without my husband. I've decided to join him in exile. My son and I are leaving this country to be with him. You broke up our family.
Dear mother, father, family, and friends, I hope this finds you well, safe, and happy just as I left you. I've missed you so much. Being away from you all this time has been the hardest thing I've ever had to face. When I decided to join the United States Navy right out of high school, I did it because I love my country. I did it to make you proud, to make my country proud, and to become a better person with a bright, successful future, and to hopefully make the United States a better, safer place as I serve. Remember when that recruiter came to my school to give a presentation? I asked him how to enlist right away. All I've ever wanted my whole life is to become a soldier. Can I enlist right away? He handed me an information card to fill out. I had questions like name, address, date of birth, place of birth, you know, the usual stuff. For place of birth, I put Mexico City, where I was born. He asked me,
Are you a permanent resident of the U.S.?
yes, but I don't have an American passport.
Son, don't worry. When you are in the service, we will give you a military card that will allow you to travel all over the world. You will not need a passport.
Boy, was he right. I traveled all over the world and never did I need a passport. When I joined, I thought I would be the only one with this status. But let me tell you, I met people who served in the United States Navy that were born in countries from all over the world. They were from
Mexico, Canada, Panama, England,
Costa Rica.
just to name a few. These proud U.S. soldiers served in wars such as
Vietnam,
Persian Gulf.
Kosovo, Iraq, Afghanistan.
in combat and peacetime, just as I did. Now, I'm not going to lie. Being in the Navy wasn't always easy, especially in times of combat. But as hard as it was, I want you all to know I did it because of my love for you and for my country. Even though we were trained well, the fear and stress of fighting for our country took its toll on some of us. Some of our soldiers unfortunately developed issues with substance abuse and post-traumatic stress syndrome. I'm so thankful that didn't happen to me after many years of service. I'm sorry I didn't make it all the way home to you when I returned to the United States after my deployment. I was staying with a friend for a few days. The next door neighbor needed some repair work done at their house. It just so happened to be the same problem we used to have at home with our plumbing. So naturally, I knew how to fix it. When I was done with the repairs, the neighbor gave me a check to pay for my work and for the parts I bought to fix it. When I went to cash the check, it turned out the neighbor had been writing bad checks. The account had no funds in it and had been flagged as fraudulent. Since I was the one trying to cash the check, the authorities were called. Next thing I knew, I was looking at charges of fraud. That's when the status of my citizenship came up. Before I knew it, I was deported to my place of birth, Mexico City. Mom, Dad, I know you've been worried about me trying to get by in a country I don't know anything about. All my memories are of being American. I don't remember when I was brought to the United States. I was a baby. All my friends, all the schools I attended from preschool to high school, and even the job I had before I enlisted. Everything I did, I remember as most any other American does. Since I've been deported, I feel abandoned by the country I served and loved so much. Throughout my entire military career, trying to get back into the country I consider home has been the hardest battle I've ever fought. Since I've been deported to Mexico, I've felt MIA, missing in action. I feel humiliated, depressed, and rejected. Mom, Dad, my dear family, I know you will deny this because you love me, but I know you've had some of those feelings too, because of what has happened to me. I know you must feel a sense of shame or embarrassment when the neighbors, co-workers, or the entire country looks and points. Look, that's them. Their son was deported. During my military training, we were taught,
Leave no man behind.
Leave no man behind.
Mom, Dad, I feel left behind. My American dream became a nightmare. I know, my dear family, how scared you must have been when you found out that I got sick. I don't know what's worse, the illness or the fact that deported veterans are eligible for VA benefits, but we're just not allowed to cross the border to go to a VA clinic or hospital for treatment. If I would have been able to get that treatment, it's quite possible I would have survived my illness. Mom, Dad, my dear sweet family and friends, it's time for that homecoming celebration after all. See, and this really doesn't make any sense to me at all, but even though I've not been able to live with you, my family, in the country I consider home, I'm not finally able to rest with you where I belong. My ashes are being sent back across the border to you today. All deported veterans wish that one day we will be able to return to the country we consider home legally. But until then, the only way they'll let us come back home is in a box. Please share this letter and my love with everyone back home. Until we meet again, love, your son, a deported veteran of the United States Military Armed Forces.
Dear Enrique,
God.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate the lives of John and Jane Doe. What can I say about John and Jane? They were hard-working human beings who loved their families. They loved them so much that they put the needs of their families before their own, which is how it should be. Yes, I believe we should all be a little more like John and Jane. You see, they didn't come for much. They didn't have much. They tried to make the best out of the hand they were dealt in life. Did I mention they were hardworking? Some of the hardest working people there ever were. I mean, they worked hard for everything they had. You might think someone who worked that hard would have really nice, beautiful things. Well, they didn't. They didn't have much at all. You might think someone who worked as hard and as much as they did would live in a really nice house. John and Jane did not. In fact, where they lived didn't even have indoor plumbing or electricity. But that didn't keep them from doing what needed to be done. They always got up early, put on the best clothes they had, and went out into the world looking for work to support their families. You rarely saw them on some street corner asking for handouts of money, food, or water. But I do see that a lot out here on our streets, though. There are people with signs or their hands out saying, "Give me." I guess that's one of the many differences between them and us. You see, John and Jane took any job they could. They took every job they were ever offered. They even worked jobs that nobody else wanted. Jobs that didn't pay much, and you know what? With as little as they had, with as little as they made, they were always able to spend what they needed to for themselves. And they were able to have enough for those at home that needed it as well. Yes, sir. I wish we had a lot more like John and Jane. And that's why we are here today, to celebrate their lives, to pay our final respects to them, because they deserve respect, like any one of us do. Now, I'd like to bring up a friend that would like to tell us a little bit more about John and Jane.
Dear friends, I'd like to share a few words about John. A few days before he passed away, John set out to do the hardest, most selfless thing he'd ever done in his life. It must have gotten up to 120 degrees that day, even though it had been freezing the night before. He didn't have a blanket. He just slept under the stars and the clothes he had on.
He might have gotten sick from sleeping out in the cold. Now, don't get me wrong, John tried to take care of himself. He carried with him a razor, a small tube of toothpaste, and a toothbrush, along with a Bible. He also carried a faded picture of someone. You couldn't make out who it was, but it looked like someone important to him. He knew he had to try and stay hydrated, but he quickly ran out of water. He found a gallon container that might have helped him, but someone had sliced holes in it with a knife. Who would do such a thing? When he was found, it was impossible to recognize him. The tip of his nose was missing, and the rest of his face was mummified. The local wildlife got to him, no doubt, before anyone else did.
Dear Jane was a mother, a daughter, and a sister. She was young. Boy, was she strong, and smart too. She carried a list of things not to forget with her the day she passed away. Water, salt, lemons, garlic, matches, preferable foods canned or packaged. She also had a picture of a very young child, about maybe 2 years old. Looked like at a birthday party or something. She also had a letter from a sweetheart that was in the small coin purse in her pocket. Her body was found 7 days after she slipped into the canal while trying to cross it. Nobody could be reached to identify John and Jane at the county medical examiner's office. They didn't know whom to contact because nobody knew who John and Jane Doe were. Their personal belongings are kept in a locker there at the county medical examiner's office.
John and Jane. John and Jane. John Doe and Jane Doe. John and Jane are laid to rest at the Terrace Park Cemetery in Hopeville, California, just 15 miles north of the border in Imperial Valley. They are buried there in shallow graves, along with about 800 other human beings whose names also happen to be John Doe and Jane Doe. Some died in the desert like John, some drowned in a canal like Jane. Others were found along the highway. Some were attacked by snakes or animals or hit by a car. Some may have even been murdered. But nobody knows. Nobody knows because nobody knows his or her story. Even the people they left behind back home don't know what happened to them. If there were people expecting them on the other side of the border, they don't know their story either. All anyone knows about these people is that one day they left in search of opportunity and were never heard from again.
There have been about 10,000 John and Jane Doe since 1994 when Operation Gatekeeper went into effect. Before that, there were 1 or 2 John and Janes a month. Since then, there are 1 or 2 a day. Hundreds of miles of steel walls and barriers were built along the U.S.-Mexico border from Texas right into the Pacific Ocean where it ends at Friendship Park in San Ysidro, California. 10,000 lives lost. That's more than double the number of people who died at Pearl Harbor and 9/11 combined. The wall cost $2.4 billion to build and approximately $15.5 billion a year to maintain border security. But it cost John and Jane a lot more than that. The number of people crossing the border has decreased a little, but the number of deaths keeps increasing dramatically. 10,000 human beings gone, 10,000 families affected, 10,000 dreams cut short. But not even the threat of death will keep them from coming. It is the dream of hope that will keep them coming.
So today, we celebrate the lives of Jane and John Doe, who had little and gave all. To pay respects to the nearly 800 John and Jane Does buried in a pauper's grave behind Terrace Park Cemetery, visiting hours are from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., with special permission from the groundskeeper. But the rest of the park is open from 7 a.m. until sunset, daily. The graves are not too hard to find, just follow the main path through the green grass, beautiful shade trees, and headstones until you get to the end of the road. There, if the groundskeeper has unlocked the gate, you'll find them on the other side of the wall. You see, we try to keep them separated from us by a wall in life, and then we do it again in their death. Unlike the rest of Terrace Park, the area where John and Jane are buried is a barren dirt field. No trees, no grass. Their headstones are merely bricks laid on top of each other with their names, John Doe and Jane Doe, on them. Oh, and don't step on their graves, they're so shallow that they might cave in. Some pay their respects by bringing flowers or Simple decorated crosses made of wood with the words "No olvidados" on them, not forgotten. John, Jane, I truly hope we do never forget you. We may not have known who you were or what your stories are, but we do know that the risks you've all taken, the sacrifices you've all made, were not only brave, but should be admired and learned from by others. Rest in peace, John.
You're in a better place now.
Que te vaya bien. Vaya con Dios.
Not forgotten.
No olvidados.
John Doe and Jane Doe.
Presente.
Juan se lanzó marchándose al norte, iba en busca de una vida digna. Cruzando México por valles y por montes, iba Juan lleno de fe. La historia es que Juan se iba a casar con María embarazada, pero él no tenía ni un centavo, ni un clavo que darle. Pero este Juan iba muy decidido y a la frontera llegó con todo el filo. Se conectó con el mero mayor de los coyotes y la historia le contó. Mire usted que yo quiero cruzarme ya a San Diego, Chicago. Dígame usted lo que hago, qué precio le pago. Juan ya nunca regresó, en la línea se quedó. Pobre Juan, oh, la migra lo mató y el desierto lo enterró. Pobre Juan, oh. Juan le enseñó al coyote una foto de María, con la cual se casaría. Le prometió que él regresaría para formar todo un hogar. Pero el coyote a Juan lo traicionó, dejándolo al olvido. De 3 balas se tronaron a Juan. Pobre de Juan, no regresó.
In the beginning, it was just a few strands of barbed wire. Since then, it has grown. The wall, what it is, what it does, and what it represents affects us all. So that's all I have for now. Remember, you are in our hearts and prayers. Have hope.
If we spread words, people will learn from our stories.
Keep the faith. We will be working on this till we come to a solution.
I always remember what Father Rogers said. Instead of building bigger walls, we should be building more tables and invite our neighbors to break bread with us.
We will see each other again someday. You know it in my heart. I just know it. We're here for you.
It's hard to believe that in the beginning, it's just a few strands of barbed wire. Look what it's become. Look at what we've become. Together. We can fix this. Until that day comes. Love.
Juan ya nunca regresó, en la línea se quedó, pobre Juan. O la migra lo mató, y el desierto lo enterró, pobre Juan. Y María lo fue a buscar, y ella nunca lo encontró, desapareció. Oh, 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 oh.
La historia es que Juan se iba a casar con María embarazada, pero él no tenía ni un centavo, ni un clavo que darle. Pero este Juan iba muy decidido, y a la frontera él llegó con todo el filo. Se conectó con el mero mayor de los coyotes, y la historia le contó. Mire usted que yo quiero cruzarme ya a San Diego, chico.